You know, it would really help if I'd actually unmuted my microphone while I was saying all that. I'm a professional. Well, introduction time number 2. Hi, everyone. Um, yeah, Prince is here. So to keep it brief, I need to keep an eye on him mainly because not because he's out, but because if I don't keep an eye on him, he will disappear and go on an adventure. Anyway, let's undeafen
Hey.
and hello everyone.
And then he said, no, the trousers were blue.
Excellent, excellent. Classic. You wouldn't get it, Scott. How's it going?
No, I wouldn't get it because you just said some random punchline and everyone giggled because
Classic.
you definitely weren't telling some kind of joke where the punchline is, but the trousers were blue.
You know what? That's on Adam. It was your turn today, Adam. I'm sorry, you
Yeah.
failed.
I tried to come up with the most entertaining punchline I could.
That's all right. You've got a couple of weeks because it's Kayla's turn next week.
Sweet.
Well, so it'd be Kayla's turn, and then what? It'd be your turn, and then it'd be David's turn, and then it'd be Adam's turn. Or do you guys roll
Yeah.
for it every week?
No.
So
Well,
random
That implies
occurrence.
planning.
That does imply planning. So yeah, clearly not from you guys. But anyway, everyone good to go. Is that a Stargate in the background, Evelyn?
I don't know. It's like a Full Metal Alchemisty kind of thing.
Oh, it's FMA. Okay.
I got a red one too.
It
which
looked like
actually is
a.
Full Metal.
It kind of looked like a Stargate. So that's what I was asking. But anyway, we're all here. We are live. I sincerely hope we're live on the Facebooks and stuff as well. I'm not sure. Let me go and
Facebook
check
is
them.
good.
Facebook is good. Cool. Yes, we are up on Facebook. Cool. Right. Yeah, we are good to go.
Time.
Well, that.
Yay.
Oh God.
Adventure time now.
It's just white now. I don't see any details.
Oh, can you not?
No.
Never mind.
Anyway, let's continue on from where we were last week. So, last week after you guys had had your little shenanigans dealing with going to speak to Ados, Ramont, and Remure, you finished your night of rest in the residential block of the SilverDrake Keep, where after some heavy drinking, some of you decided not to stay in the bedrooms. Neftari, you decided that you were going to sleep off your night of drinking in the stables of Victorless. You're going to keep an eye on him. While Temple had your sentries watch in the hallway. Definitely not just getting in the way of everyone. And Coralina, you spent the night in Neftari's room before you all returned in the morning, before you all regrouped in the morning. Certain things happened in the bedroom between Coralina and Neftari, which we will not go into heavy detail, but the end result did include death of a bird. Before you all finally reconvened, all as a single party once again, made your way up to Clara's area, where the tannery within the SilverDrake Keep. There was heavy girl talk between Clara and Coralina, as Coralina was the lady friend of Neftari. Before, as you were exiting the back room, Coralina, while Victorless, Temple, and Neftari were making attempts at making sure the displacement was at least functioning on Victorless's cloak, Victorless swung out and stabbed you in the shin with the head of an arrow, and certain words escaped your lips, leaving everyone stunned. And
Oh,
that's
dear.
where we pick up with Clara just kind of stood there with a hand over her mouth, like, oh shit. As sorry, Corleone, do you mind repeating what it was that you said?
Okay, I'm gonna have to keep my voice down so the neighbors don't get upset.
Again.
What was the phrase? Vic, can you be a little bit more fucking careful? I may be pregnant.
Yeah, there was that. So, what do you guys want to do? As I turn down the brightness of this light just a little bit.
I can't remember if we got to the point where it actually pulled the arrow out of Carolina's leg yet or not.
Yeah, you
No,
did,
it's
like,
yeah. You did because it was serrated.
yeah, it was serrated. So you stabbed. You're like, oh shit, and then pulled the arrow out of her shin, and then words were had.
How tall is this room?
The room's about 15. I'd say it's about as tall as mine. So yeah, about 15 feet tall.
About 15 feet tall.
About 15 feet tall, yeah.
Is there
Yeah,
dead
big careful.
silence?
She might be pregnant. What? What? What did you do in there?
Can I get a quick refresher of? We're all in the tailor's.
In
place,
the
right?
tanneries, yeah, you're all in
We
Clara's
are
little.
all here.
Yes, you are all there
Okay.
because
Thank you for that. I'm trying to
So
flip
you,
through.
you and Nethari were helping Victorious, with his displacement cloak, which has now been changed to a recharge system. I still need to make that on D&D Beyond. I did forget about that, but I will get that done for you tonight once we're finished, Adam. And get it added to your character sheet. But yeah, like you were tempted to throw Nethari at Victorious in order to try and make the displacement work, but you just rolled through attacks and stuff at Victorious to try and get everything to work. Keeping an eye on you, you little shit. But yeah, anyway, please continue. What do you guys want to do after certain things have just been spoken?
GM, was I paying attention?
I don't know. Were you paying attention? That is purely up to you if you were paying attention to that. Ow.
Considering the
Oh,
game
dear.
was let's try and hit Vic with anything, and you were stood kind of throwing stuff and aiming stuff at him, you would probably be paying fair close attention.
To the throwing.
I mean, we can go with that if you like.
Mm.
In
Why
fact,
is
you know
everybody
what?
so
You know what?
quiet all of a sudden?
Let's make it. Let's do it this way. Temple, go ahead and roll me a perception check, and we'll determine if you actually heard what Coralina said. Whether you were paying attention or not, let's make it an active perception check. If you heard her. An 18. Yes, I will give you that. You definitely heard Coralina blurt out that she might be pregnant.
Carrie is just staring at Corleone, so open-mouthed, and then a look of understanding crosses his face.
Mm-hmm.
He winks to Corleone. So,
Vic's just going to clean off the arrow on his sleeve.
Uh-huh.
Sort of raise his eyebrows, puff out his cheeks, and sort of wait for the ensuing chaos.
Ensuing chaos. Temple, you want to do anything in the meantime?
I don't know what Temple would do.
Just 404.
Page not
Location's
found.
not found.
I'm going to approach Coralina and like carefully inspect the tummy area.
Just like kind of crouch down and be like,
Lean right in.
Coralina, what are you doing? Oh.
I think it'd be Oh. At the whole realization, the brain is just finally turned back on of, oh, fuck, I need to find this out now. Dimension door, up 30
Alright.
feet.
Up 30 feet. Yeah, so as you guys are, having a little discussion, and I'm trying to keep an eye on this noodle and figure out where the fuck he's going. Yeah, a small purple door kind of like portal opens up behind Coralina. I just knocked another one of my dice. It was on the chair and it fell onto the floor now. Yeah, a purple portal opens up behind Coralina, and Coralina just kind of takes a single step back and envelops her before it just closes in, and she vanishes to a location that you don't know. She just cast she cast a spell.
What the hell? Where'd she go? I thought I'd be the one to run away.
Where the fuck are you going, bud?
Well, this is an
Done.
interesting turn of events.
Certainly unexpected. You know, always
Clara?
confused, also
Surprised, humans
quite
get pregnant all the time.
pleased, no, sorry.
Clara, what did you do to her?
And I did nothing. Sorry, it's what the two of you have been doing in your spare time.
And why don't I feel the urge to run away? And she just has run away. Do you think I really did sell my soul?
Well, from what she has told me, she's unsure if she actually is. Now, Jakar up the stairs definitely has the means of informing someone if they actually are with child. And I suggested that she go and pay him a visit, which is probably where she's very likely gone now. Where the fuck are you going? I'm gonna have to put him
Bye.
away here in a minute.
He's gonna go see Jakar.
Bye, Dad.
Okay, and if Kara's going to bolt out and try to find Jakar as well.
Oh, well, you know that Jakar is definitely 2 stories up, like basically directly above Clara's tannery. So if you'd like to, you can make your way up towards the apothecary just now, attempting to follow Coralina. Is that what you want to do, Neftai?
Yep.
All right, cool. And Temple, Victorless, are you guys going to follow along?
Well, I don't know where he went.
No,
Carolina just left, and Neftari just bolted.
Look
Well,
at
I mean,
temples,
are you
though.
going
Clara
next?
did say that aloud. So, with a Victorless insight 16, Temple 15. Yeah, you like with a passive insight, you'd both kind of be able to tell to that like with what Clara's just said, that Nethar is probably making his way to Jakar's apothecary. Right, tell you what, give me 2 minutes because yeah, the noodle is he's going off on an adventure and I don't want him to disappear under my sofa again. So I will let you guys discuss what you're going to do here while I go and pick up the noodle and put him away so that he doesn't vanish underneath my sofa or underneath my TV or just disappear completely and I never find him again. Yeah, that was a mistake. 2 seconds. Ow, I'm still tethered. Yeah.
I love that word. The noodle.
Pain in the butt. Come here.
What was the other one? Oh, nope rope. That's not a danger noodle, it's a nope rope. That's for poisonous ones, presumably.
Yes.
Those are ones with heart juice.
Yeah, the ones with hurt and juice. I think that's what.
So,
Snacks,
Yeah.
noodles.
Right, there we go. He's away. My apologies. But yes, that was a snack. If you don't like snacks, then it's a nope. Then it's a nope rope. Like if you go to the bathroom and you sneeze, say snake in the toilet, then it's a nope rope. And if snakes have the dangerous venom, then it's called a danger noodle. Like the shake snake and the cobra. Do not boop, or you'll get the hurt juice.
This has been my TED Talk.
That's actually a Lucid Chart ad, which is crazy. It's great. I'll link it to you guys later on. But no, he's away. He's chilling now. He doesn't like being touched on his tail, so he kind of like lashed away from me for a brief moment there. But well, I don't mean like lashed away like trying to struck at me or anything like that. But he doesn't like being touched on the tail, so he kind of just like jerked the lower half of his body away from me. So that's what I mean by that. Anyway, Temple, Victorious, what do you guys want to do?
Well, I'm sort of stood somewhat unfazed.
Should we? And I sort of gesture at the door. Or maybe not, so they can maybe talk. Or maybe they need to not talk and we need to be a distraction. So they can maybe talk later. I'm not fully aware of the intricacies of social interaction yet, so I'm going to leave this squarely with you.
Yeah, I'm not exactly well versed in situations like this myself, but let's give Neftori a bit of a head start. We can go and rescue him in a minute.
I guess so. Clara, how is the weather today?
Well, Metal Man, if you take a look outside, it is it looks like it's going to be grey skies all day with perhaps a chance of rain later on. I've been doing a good impersonation of a friend who calls himself a weatherman. How does I sound?
That was prophetical and incredible, and if it rains tonight, surely the gods will be displeased.
Well, I would hope not.
But impressive nonetheless.
All right.
So,
before we
Victoralis,
yeah,
how is rangering? I am detecting and understanding the concept of awkwardness. And I think now we should go follow, having given them perhaps 2 minutes to stop in the corridor before they get to a sick man.
Temple, if you want to go. You go ahead. I'll catch you up. Clara, there was one other thing. Looking for almost like a harness for a large horse, something with buckles to ride. Not a saddle as such, but something that would be suitable for a big horse.
I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. I know exactly
how
what
big is
you're
this
doing.
horse that we're talking about exactly?
Is it 7 feet tall and 500 pounds and a warforged?
Imagine an unfeasibly large horse.
Well, if it's unfeasible, then I can't imagine it. Now can I?
Do you have a large length of leather that could attach to footholds or buckles to the end, such as we would be required to possibly ride or sit on an unfeasibly large horse?
I can come up with something.
Can I get an insight check on what's obviously he's asking for here?
Yeah, go ahead.
That is, I've just PM'd that to someone who does not even know what D&D is.
Nice. Very nice. And they'll be like, what? Exclamation point C space insight? What? Or INS? What? 14. You can come to the reasonable conclusion that the talk of a saddle and being connected to a dragon of sorts, it's potential that he's looking to fashion a saddle for Ados to potentially majestically ride him into battle.
So, interrupting their conversation. Do you need a saddle for a dragon? Is that what you're talking about? Because I don't know of any large horses. And what you're describing sounds to me like something you would need to ride a dragon.
Yeah, it's something of about that size. Yeah, thank you, Temple.
Or about that size,
Well,
okay.
yes, I can definitely see about fashioning something that will maybe fit Ados in once he's fully grown. He still has a while to go, apparently.
Oh, I was thinking Remure. That's much less impressive.
Well, Remure doesn't let anyone ride him anymore. And neither does Ramonth and Zane. Well, I'm not sure if Zane has actually allowed anyone to take a ride on his back and fly around.
It's all a bit tentative at the moment anyway, but if you have something or could fashion something to that effect, then
I will be able to make something. It may not be ready straight away. I will need to take his current dimensions and then consider the growth of his draconic form as he grows from an adult, and dragons do consistently get larger to a very specific point, so I'll need to determine when that point is and adjust the saddle size to conform to him. I could make it adjustable, but adjustable can be quite uncomfortable for the dragon, so
I haven't actually discussed this with him yet. I was going to do that later.
So you're commissioning me to make a saddle for him, even though you haven't got his permission to actually put a saddle on him? It's a bit dangerous, don't you think?
A saddle, I was after more of a quick fix experiment. We're limited for time, so at any time we do get to spend together is not going to require the craftsmanship of a full saddle.
Well, I tell you what, I will fashion something for him for now. Shouldn't take me too long to make, something that will be able to affix to him. Probably just for the breastbone between the joints of his wings and his neck. And if he's comfortable, I'll provide it to you. And perhaps you'll be able to fly alongside your dragon. Does that sound fair?
Sounds perfect. We'll see how the conversation goes, but thank you.
No, of course. You just come back and let me know.
How exactly is that conversation going to go? The last time I heard someone say, "Can I ride you?" it was Neftari, and the person immediately hit them.
I don't know if the subject will even come up, Temple. A possibility. Right. Neftari then, rescuing him. We were doing that.
Alright, so you guys turning to leave to follow after Neftari up to the apothecary?
Yes.
I guess.
Alright, cool. So then with that, we shall divert over to Coralina. So, Carolina, as like just as you like the realization of what you said hits, you like just with a quick flick of your wrist, the portal opens behind you. You step back and are enveloped in a kind of vibrant violet color before you reappear only 30 feet up, 2 floors up, in the middle of what looks to be a mixed mash of different alchemical components, vials, burners, like droppers, mortar and pestle, like all sorts of jazz, which would be very like useful for the concoction of like potions and stuff like that. There is a sweet smelling, but mixed with a light hint of like you know that kind of like abrupt burning smell, like if something is just lightly being like something's lightly been burnt. It's a mix of that with something extremely sweet coming from the back. There is what looks to be like a leather curtain that's covering the door, and you do hear what sounds to be a light fire crackling in the back, and some shuffling movement with the odd, very loud and very deep cough erupting from the back.
Clara mentioned that Jakar does not speak common, yes?
She did to you, yes.
Alright. I got a spell for that. Tongues.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna cast it on myself.
Okay, yeah. Cast tongues on yourself. Let me just quickly double check that. It's only first level, isn't it? Or
No, it's third level.
There we go. Yeah. The creature you touch, the ability to understand any spoken language it hears. Moreover, when the target speaks in a creature on the nose, that at least one language and can hear the target understands what it says. Yeah, so yeah, touch it like you just like hand on your chest, cast tongues on yourself. So now, even just speaking common. Well, Jakar can. It's mainly for you because Jakar can understand common, just doesn't speak it. But you now are capable of essentially you're able to translate Draconic and understand what he says.
Okay. I'm gonna try to make my way.
Sorry?
Mm-hmm. No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, however, there is no sign of the Dragonborn in the vicinity.
Oh, there was a sound of shuffling and coughing, yes?
Yes, in the back, in the back, but
I'll take a couple steps forward. Hello? I'm really sorry to disturb you, but I really require your help.
There's another couple of coughs and a muttering to like muttering that you can't actually hear before the leather curtains kind of whoosh open and a bronze scaled pretty sure it was bronze scaled. It's been so long since I've had to bring out Jakar. Where is my notebook? Is it that one? This is why I really need to have like dedicated notebooks for each individual
God, was he a dragonborn or something?
Yes, he's a dragonborn. I just can't remember if I made him copper or bronze. Yeah, bronze. I was right. It's a good thing to always have a notebook of like dedicated to your own campaign, and not just have a mishmash of different notebooks scattered around, which you take random notes in. I'm so organized. Anyway, yes, the bronze scaled dragonborn kind of wanders out. He has what looks to be a makeshift SARS mask over his face, so it'll light cloth or thin leather that's enveloped over his snout with what looks to be a collection of strings that kind of fixes it around the back of his elongated head. He kind of steps out and looks at you, kind of squints his eyes and looks at you with a bit of suspicion, for yes. What can I do for you?
I fish around in my pocket before holding up the little folded up piece of paper. Clara downstairs said you could help me with this thing, and I really need it sooner rather than later, please. Lives may depend on this.
Interesting. Let me see. Takes the note from your hand and opens it up and reads it. Oh. One moment. I may have a batch already prepared for something like this. One moment. And kind of slowly shuffles into the back. You can still hear him like coughing and spluttering as he disappears into the back.
Fidgeting, but standing there.
Just, come on, the sooner the better. Before about a minute goes by and he steps through with a vial of like a potion vial in his hand. The liquid inside is like a very a vibrant purple color with like swirling pink accents flowing through it. He walks over and just gently pops it down on the counter. That there, that will tell you all the information you need. Just simply ingest it, and your body will be able to tell you whether you are with child or not.
Okay. Also a follow-up question. I'm really sorry. You don't sound so good. I kind of show up the period of health, I believe it's called. Okay,
It's
just
the periapte wound
just
closure.
no. I have the period of health as well. I put it on last night.
Oh yes, so you do.
Just a quick question. Does being with child count as disease?
Child, please don't. I've not heard something that funny for a while. And as he's coughing, you do actually he does lower the mask so that you can cough into his hand, and as he pulls his hand away, you do subtly see that he leans down and seems to wipe his hand on the robes that he's wearing before raising the mask back over his face. In some way, shape, or form, it is technically classed as a sexually transmitted disease. It is quite very possible. However, if you are with child and it was conceived before the periapt was worn, it may not have the effect that you desire. I would ingest the potion and will let you know if you are with child, and if you are, well, then the periapt will not do much, since you already be with child.
And if not?
And if not, then I would assume the periapt would be able to stop it from happening. I cannot guarantee. It's I have never actually been asked that kind of question before.
Right. Well, thank you. Kind of reach into my coin purse and get maybe 20 gold or so and just offer it out.
And as you hold it out to him, he kind of takes his right hand under yours and then just pushes his fingers up onto yours to clasp your hand around and pushes your hand back to you. Oh, no, I do not require any kind of payment for that. It is, I will class that as an emergency fund. You will get this one,
Okay,
your first one for free. Go ahead and roll me a perception check, please, Coralina.
Okay. It's okay. If he's not accepting the money, I think there's something he may accept.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 10.
Yeah, no, that's that's enough. As you kind of as he pushes your fingers over and you clasp onto the gold, as you begin to put the coins back into your coin purse on the backs of your fingers, between just between your knuckles, you do see the light stain of crimson blood.
I mean, I should at least be able to thank you some way because you really don't seem so good.
This is nothing. Something that I must have got on my travels.
Okay. Well, if you don't want to accept gold, there's other things I can do. Snapped fingers, bottle of Dragonborn whiskey, and I offer it out.
I have not. Well, where does this originate from? From here or from another continent?
I think Taldore, but
Yeah.
Vic says it's good.
Yes, but the Draconian of Taldore make very bad whiskey. Kind of cracks open the bottle, takes a very large swig of it. Yes. No. Cheap swill in comparison to the whiskey of Eldroth.
Okay, well, if you ever need help and I'm not dead or missing, I can definitely help if I'm here.
Dead or missing? What do you mean by that?
I can explain later. I'm going to take this and go. But try to
perhaps ingest that now. It can take anywhere between a few minutes and a few hours for the effects to become apparent.
Okay. I'll just pop the top and take it back.
Tastes very, very sweet. Almost reminds you of the tea from your home. Not the same kind of herbal taste to it, but goes down really easily. Kind of feel a tingling sensation go down your arms as you do swallow it. Feels kind of very weird. But then no further effect whatsoever.
So minutes to hours?
Minutes to hours, yes. If you have not heard anything within 24 hours, come back and see me, and I might be. It may have been from a bad batch. My potions have not been up to par recently since I've returned, but it's only because I am slowly dying. It seems.
But I might have somebody that can fix that. Again, if I'm not dead or missing.
If you would be so kind, I would greatly appreciate it. my
right?
Name, formerly, I am Jaka. And he kind of reaches his hand out to you and then kind of takes his hand back and offers you the other hand that's not smeared in blood.
Okay, take it. Coralina. Pleasure.
Pleasure is mine, Coralina. And yes, I would highly recommend that you come back to me within 24 hours if you've not heard anything.
Okay. And I'll leave you to get better. I'll let my friend know that you're sick and see if he can help.
And which friend would that be?
Temple?
Oh, the Warforged Paladin, yes.
Yes.
I'm not sure if you will be able to. I did see some paladins that were.
Well, I mean, a paladin brought me back from the dead.
I'm not dead yet. I do apologize for you seeing me on this sorry state.
It's okay. I've seen a lot worse today, don't worry. I've dealt with a lot worse today.
Well, if you do not mind, I'm going to try and A, concoct a cure, and B, get some rest. My chest is killing me.
Okay, try to get better. Plenty of fluids, I think. I don't know. No, I'll make my leave. I'll leave out the door like a sane person.
As you kind of like, you just slowly, so you're just walking backwards, like yeah, keep on that, and then eventually like hit the door, like abruptly turn around, open the door handle, and
Okay, bye.
okay, bye. Like, no, okay, bye. As you exit the door, you can still hear him coughing and spluttering, like in the hallway.
Oh, that's terrible.
It's actually about this time, just as you exit the door, that you can see Neftari kind of storming his way up the hall to try and meet you.
Okay.
What's going on? Were you serious? Whoa. Does she still have the Dragonborn whiskey? Did Jakar give it back to her?
No, he puts it to the side, but he still has it.
Oh, okay. Oh, he was going to. All right. Whoa. I guess you're stuck with me now, then.
Wait, what?
It sucks to be you, hey?
No?
Oh,
It's so adorable.
yeah, young love. Aww. Even though Kale's married, but we're not going to get into that.
We're all adults here.
We are
You
all
know-
adults here. Well,
You can't
know,
compartmentalize.
thought you
adults
were
in
very-
appearance. But as Walt Disney once said, getting old is mandatory, growing up is optional.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I thought you were running away there for a second.
I anticipated you turning into a squirrel and running off as well. You didn't seem very thrilled at the prospect when it was previously mentioned.
Well, you know, in the back of my head is the thought that I should just rob everyone and run away, but that's what I'd normally do.
Yeah.
But
Well,
for some reason, I
well,
just wanna
thanks to
look after-
Jakar, I should know in a few minutes, a few hours, if not 24 hours, come back and see him.
So you don't actually know?
No, I don't actually know. That's not a thing they teach us in wizard school.
So is that what you and Clara were talking about?
Hmm? A bit, yeah. She said she just knew, and I was like, okay, I'm not gonna argue with you. I mean, divination is a thing, so I didn't know if she saw something or what. Turns out I was terribly wrong, and she's really good at guessing.
Uh,
So how long's this been?
Well, given we've been physical for a little bit now. Psych cycles are a thing. And I'm not sure about other animals. I'm not sure how much you know, but for people it's 28 days. I'm on day 5. Nothing yet. It could also be stress induced. It could always be like stress induced. I mean, like I've done that before where, I was at least a week behind just because of, exams and whatnot. So, yeah.
I mean, your family don't know. I mean, oh god, they're gonna kill me.
It's a high possibility they'll kill you and then me. I mean, my father's getting up there in years, but making another heir would be nothing more than finding a woman, and he can always put one of my siblings in power if he ever needed to. He can kind of do what he wants.
I need a drink.
Well, Chikawa said that stuff was terrible anyway, so,
Snap. What are you conjuring?
Whitestone.
Whitestone.
It's a long day for all of us.
Are you drinking it right now, Neftari?
I'll have it, Carolina first.
Well, it's been a long one. Hey, in medieval fantasy settings, you could probably even smoke and drink while you're supposedly pregnant, so...
Yeah, no doubt.
Well,
This weekend. It's completely...
you'd best hope you're not pregnant then, hey?
Best hope.
Because even though in medieval fantasy settings you technically can smoke,
It was not frowned upon.
It wasn't frowned upon, but it still can cause issues with the pregnancy. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir, but it was still not frowned upon. So yeah, I'll take a sip and like. I don't need to get too gone yet.
Take a sip. All right, cool. Con save, please.
Yep.
$15. Yeah, just like before, burns on the way down. Your head kind of gets like a very uncomfortable buzz, but it's not extremely overpowering to the point where you think you're going to be sick or sick out the other end, like Neftari was this morning.
Yep.
Neftari, are you taking a drink?
Oh yeah.
Sip, gulp, swig.
A gulp.
A proper gulp. Cool. Go ahead. Con save, disadvantage, please. Pop. I'm almost knocking over my dice tray again. That is a 17. Still, burns, hefty burn on the way down. You already start to feel kind of tipsy, like a little sway. The room kind of shifts every so often as you kind of, like, if you move around too quick, the room kind of lags behind as you stop and everything slowly kind of shifts into place. But you're still on your feet. You don't feel the need to vomit or
I'd imagine he was already feeling a bit that way before the whiskey.
Probably. It's about this time after the conversation, Victorious and Temple, you guys make your way up the stairs. You enter the hallway, and you can see. You just catch the. You don't catch the conversation, but you do see Neftari and Carolina sharing a drink of the Whitestone rum. I think it was that made it.
Was it a whiskey?
I'm not sure if it was.
It was a whiskey.
Was it whiskey?
It was a whiskey.
Okay. So,
Yeah, because the alliteration.
So yeah, it is a yeah. So you should catch them share a drink of the Whitestone whiskey, as you guys are making your way down the hallway.
I'd probably stop in my tracks once I see them sharing a drink. Maybe Neftari doesn't need rescuing after all, Temple.
TM, does Neftari look like he needs a hug?
No, actually, he doesn't. The two of them, both Neftari and Carolina, actually look to be comfortable. They are sharing a drink together. But yeah, no, they don't look distraught or like angry or upset or anything like that. They look to be comfortable.
There's no aggressive pointing.
Yeah, there's no. Carolina hasn't devolved into a Karen.
Does this mean there's going to be yet another member of the Caped Crusaders?
As Neftari, Carolina, as you guys like. As Temple reached the crescendo of the statement, you just see Temple down at the bottom of the hallway, hands outstretched, like and new member of the Cape Crusaders, just.
I don't think that's how that works.
It is. It's exactly how it works.
It kind of takes a long time for baby people to happen. I mean, baby people are pretty useless for, well, years, decades even.
You're telling me you're not just born like that, just fully grown, like a warforged?
No.
I suppose that would be quite traumatic
and painful.
Temple, you have seen children before, the small humans that have been running around, so you can assume that they're at least born of that size, at the very least. So roughly about a third of the size of Carolina. That's a big baby.
So wonderful. And how old do they be before their class is chosen by their creators? Oh, I've got so much to learn. I can't wait. Maybe he'll be a paladin.
Fourth wall breaking at its finest right there. Stop it. Stop breaking the fourth wall.
Typically, it depends on how young they start. I know I started as soon as I could read. That was about 5 or so. So some time ago.
That's incredible.
Some are naturally born gifted with certain tendencies towards arcane.
Like sorcerers.
Yes, exactly like sorcery.
So the baby could be a sorcerer. That's awesome. All we need to do is teach it how to log into Discord and we're good to go.
Stop it! Stop breaking the fourth wall! As you know what? I know, Tim, as Temple says this out loud, an unseen white light appears above Temple's face, and a hand reaches down and slaps Temple across the face. You take 17 points of bludgeoning damage as the hand of the DM appears in this game universe and slaps you across the face because it can't physically reach out and slap you through the internet. Stop breaking the fourth wall.
Oh, I mean, sorcery can be genetic, at least from what I understand of it. I mean, my father had been trying for years to sire a sorcerer, and so far no luck.
When you say sire, that sounds like the kind of word one would use when speaking of animals and breeding.
I mean, if you think about it like that, yeah. I mean, most arranged marriages involve, figuring out what selective lineage you want.
Does it not concern you, Carolina, that we have no idea about my lineage?
Yes, very much so. That's gonna need to be read up on.
You know, it's funny you should mention that, sorry, because I was just thinking about this the other day. I was thinking we could find the river you were thrown down and just head on up.
What's there?
Yes, surely someone along that river. Heck, wasn't it in a cry? We could go now.
Yeah, but the land's overrun with demons.
And we're a demon-slaying party of wonderful adventurers. Surely it can't have gotten any much worse than it was mere months ago.
I'm not even sure it was a cry. There was a few years I spent smuggling. But anyway, I suppose we could. I was abandoned as a baby, so somebody obviously didn't want me. Well, that's what they said.
Sorry, is there a landmark or something you remember from when you were very young?
It was high in the mountains. It was an impossible pass in the winter, too much snow, and there was kind of a track through the mountains in the summer where people could make their way with the animals. Bit of a hidden valley, suitable for grazing the animals. I believe it was on that path that was a road to nowhere. Really, it was.
I wonder whether there'd be any maps or charts in the library, or even if one of our esteemed dragon friends would recognize a place like that.
I mean, it's always worth finding out. At least for a map. I mean, this is the only place in Akrai I'm aware of, and I don't know my way around this place yet.
Well, there were huge mountains. The biggest I've ever encountered in my life. Maybe that's just because I was very small at the time, and mountains seemed bigger back then. But
you might find out that you're royalty after all, Neftari. Find your heritage, it could uncover all sorts of things.
It's worth a try, I guess.
All right, so what's the plan now, guys?
I guess we're gonna go do research. Suppose.
More
Carolina,
research.
did you speak to Jakar?
Yes. He was a fine fellow. He's really sick though. Temple, since paladins are able to bring back people that are either really sick or almost dead, you should probably see to him. He was coughing up blood.
Didn't hear that.
Jakar is ill.
Yeah.
I
He
must
was-
go see to it straight away.
The mention of Jakar
before you
being
go-
ill, Victorious, Temple, and Neftari, go ahead and roll me perception checks. That's a
One.
natural 1 from Victorious. That was a natural 20 from Temple, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so we had at both ends of the spectrum. But, so yeah, Neftari, Temple. Actually, yeah, no, Victorious, even with your modifier, even on a natural 1, you do, because you guys are basically right outside the door, even though it's muffled and like kind of quiet, you do hear an abrupt fit of coughing coming from Jakar's apothecary. Very violent, very loud, lasts a solid 10-15 seconds.
Ooh,
Wow.
I'm not going in there.
Temple wouldn't hesitate to go straight in there.
Temple, before you go,
Immediate,
just-
just dunk, open, door open, storm straight in.
Wait. Just
I'm gonna
touch Temple on the back, cast tongues.
halfway through
Okay,
the
you're
door.
good.
Okay, Evelyn, I think we're losing you. Your webcam's frozen and you're lagging quite a bit.
Everybody
Mhm.
just went black too.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
That's Evelyn. There
Oh.
she goes. And she's back?
question mark?
Spinny purpley squares.
Nope.
Oh,
Hang
nope.
on.
Eve, hello? You cannot be heard. Right, cool. What we're going to do, guys, very quick, is I'm going to quickly change the server location and see if that fixes it, because I was having issues earlier on. So,
Okay.
hold fire. We may lose connection here. Hold fire. Ba-dunk. I was about to say, Eve, try and disconnect and reconnect. No, it doesn't seem to want to work. Changing once again. Here we go. Hold fire. Dope. I think Eve's internet may have shat
kaput.
itself. What does it say bottom left by the connection? Let's see, let's see if we can troubleshoot this. Tell you what we're going to quickly do, even though it's only an hour in, we're going to quickly just drop AFK while we're dealing with these technical difficulties. So we'll be back as soon as we possibly can once Eve's back and up and running. We'll use this as a means of bio break and stuff as well. So if you guys need to go to the bathroom, need to get something to eat or anything like that, go ahead and do that. So hopefully we'll be back in about 5 minutes or so, maybe. Fingers crossed.
Yep.
Right, we have an Evelyn. So we're back and we're ready to go. Minor technical difficulties, but still they have been resolved. So yeah, before you walked in, Evelyn, to the apothecary, you do feel the light brush of Corlina's hand on your back as she does cast tongues on you. What were you going to say there, Kayla?
Oh, nothing. Sorry.
Nothing. Okay, because I just saw you point and unmute, so just like you had something to say there.
I'm sorry.
It's fine.
You guys.
But yeah, so as you walk in, like you don't really register any difference as you walk in, Temple, but like in the back you do hear the abrupt coughing and spluttering of Jakar, apparently of Jakar. So what do you want to do?
Mr. Jakar,
No response.
is he coughing?
He's still like every so often there is the like a cough, but
I'll try and speak in dragon then. If I even
Draconic. Yeah. Go ahead and roll me a flat intelligence check. Let's see how good you are at remembering your draconic here. An 11. Yeah, no, you call out his name and like in draconic, just ask if he's all right, and you do manage to like enunciate it properly. And this time you do hear some like more coughing and shuffling from the back, and eventually Jakar does step out and glances up to you. And, Temple. Yeah, it is a pleasure to see you once again. What brings you here?
Likewise, I'm very glad to see you. I was following my new companions, and I hate to skip the pleasantries, but is there something I can do?
I'm not too sure. You can always try, but as I said to Carolina, I've seen paladins on my travels, and they weren't really able to do much. So what would you like to do, Temple?
First, I'd check him out. Like anything that perhaps a medicine check could give me an indication of what's wrong with him. Can I see any other symptoms?
Go ahead and go ahead and roll me
Dr. Temple.
go ahead and roll me a medicine check. Last 18. Yeah, as you approach him, he comes out from around the back, and you are able to kind of like give him a proper look over the whole like the typical thing, checking the forehead for fever, making sure he's not actually wounded or there's nothing like on his person that may actually be inadvertently causing this. You do see what looks to be some as you look him over, some freshly healed scars from some of his recent travels. He does seem to be running a fever. But other than that, he's just coughing, and when it gets real violent with his coughing fits, you do see that there is a trickle of blood that kind of runs from the corner of his mouth that he just quickly just wipes away with the back of his hand and wipes down onto his robe. Glancing down, there is some like fresh and old stains of blood that he seems to have been wiping on his robe as he's been coughing up blood every now and then.
Mr. Jakar, please forgive my intrusion, but it's in my very nature.
I'm well aware of
someone
that
ill.
as a paladin. I do not know what it is.
Do you know when it started, Jakar?
Not long after I returned from the land of Elroth, I didn't come into any contact with any diseased individual there, but
Were you attacked perhaps by any creatures? I can see fresh scarring that suggests you might have gotten into a scrape.
There was some conflict, but nothing that I wasn't able to deal with myself.
Please, any creature, even a rogue with sufficient knowledge of poisons, it could be anything, any detail. Whoever attacked you, what wave, what they looked like, what it looked like, I must know.
It was a strange construct, a quadrupedal made of metal. I do not know much of the details, but I was able to defeat the beast. But I've been poisoned before, and this is not a poison. This is something different. This must be an illness I picked up on my travels and I brought it back with me.
May I try a few things? I understand you said other paladins have seen to you, but perhaps they didn't try the right thing.
If it would, if it would make you feel better, then yes, go right ahead.
First, though, DM, have I learned anything based on what he's told me? Does this sound like it might be one of those steel things that the...
Go. Actually, passively, yeah, that what he described does sound like one of those steel predators that you'd come across before back in Taldora.
Do I remember of any of them attacking us during our fight? I wasn't actually present during that session, so I genuinely don't know.
Yeah. So like there was only the two steel predators at the farm, which you later discovered were the creation of the Glabra Zoo. That was in the northern cave beyond the farmland. But it was only the two steel predators that had attacked you.
I'd
that
be
is what you
making my way
described.
to the room at this point as well.
Say that again.
I'd be following sort of Temple after
Okay.
after his initial burst.
Yeah, and you following behind, and you can see you're able to see Temple kind of inspecting Jakar and like offering lines of questioning as he's taking a look at Jakar's wounds and such.
So would I have heard him describe, and would I understand?
Yes, on a with a passive 17 and passive 21 and a passive 17, you'd have heard it as you were on your way in. Difficult to not hear him as he's also coughing his guts out, and with a 17, you're able to put two and two together, like a metal construct of sorts that's quadrupedal. Sounds exactly like what attacked you not too long ago.
Jakar, these metal creatures, where did you encounter them?
In a far off continent, far south, the land of Elroth. I was doing some research on an alchemical agent that I'm working on. One of them ambushed me. Oh, why?
They sound like they may be familiar, but not on the same continent. Neftari? Still got that contract?
Neftari stood at the door. You know, he can hear this coughing, and he thinks he doesn't want to go into a plague-infested.
Yeah, I'd be calling out like towards the corridor outside.
Contract. Did I have a copy of that?
You do?
Yeah, sure.
If
You know, I could probably prepare a spell tonight. I put a bit of cloth over my face, and I walk in. And I'm talking muffled. You know, I could probably prepare a spell to cure poison and disease and stuff. And if you
I
want,
can cure without preparation, poison and disease. I'm not so sure how well it would do, as if any paladin has seen Jakar, they would no doubt have cast it. But if you don't mind, Jakar, may I cast a couple of various different healing spells which may assist? They may have not tried something, but I might.
Like I said, most paladins have tried their repertoire of healing, but if you feel like what you're able to do would be better, and I will not stop you.
I'd like to try some things. If I can't tell what it is, perhaps I could come back tomorrow having prepared a spell that would allow me to detect what it is. Specifically.
Of course, if that is what you would like to do, go right ahead. And he does get like the coughing gets extremely violent for a few moments. As it does cause him to double over onto his knees, coughing into the floor, and you do all hear and see a subtle kind of splash as there is a very small but quite obvious pool of blood that kind of almost pours freely from his mouth before it eventually settles and gets back up and just draws his hand over his completely over from side to side of his snout, just completely covers his the sleeve of his robe in blood. Clara is going to kill me.
Well, if it's
I'm
poison,
seeing him. I'm seeing. Could I get a medicine check on him as well?
Yeah, go ahead. Roll a medicine check. Vic, if you want to try and ascertain what it might be as well, you can go roll a medicine check as well if you'd like.
Okay.
Unnatural 20 from Neftari and an 8 from Victorious. Unfortunately for both of you, this is something you've never seen before. Like there are a lot of diseases that and stuff, diseases, poisons, infections out there that can cause this kind of thing. Like just from a standard viral infection that anyone can catch to a bacterial growth on the lungs, which can cause coughing and stuff. But there's never been anything that you've come across, not naturally anyway, that causes fits of coughing and bringing up blood that you've ever seen before.
I have at least 3 spells that are worth trying. I suppose we should start from the bottom. If it's a poison, a lesser restoration should cure it right up.
All right,
I'm going to do a second level restoration first. I don't expect this to work because it looks like a disease.
You touch Jakar and there's a dull kind of black, similar negative light that you're used to seeing that flows from your hand that kind of crosses over his chest and then dissipates into his body. He kind of stands upright and looks at you all for a moment before God damn it.
Hey, wide-eyed. I'm just going to pull a contract out of my pocket, give it to Vic, and just skittle on out.
Back the fuck up! Fuck this shit! I'm out. I'm not wanting this.
Next, I shall try remove curse in case this is not a disease, but a curse left on you by those possibly demonically controlled creatures.
Yep. As you
That
expend
would be a third level remove curse.
Yep, you've expended your second, and go ahead and expend your third level spell slot as you cast Remove Curse. Put your hand on his shoulder. But this normally is that negative light, but it is a kind of soft glowing, kind of a creamy white light that flows from your hand, crosses his body, and again kind of fully envelops him before just dissipating outwards. No. Definitely not. God.
While this is going on, I'm going to take out the contract Neftori's given me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to check it over to see if it's changed at all.
While you
what I
read
remember
that
seeing.
decidedly unsigned contract, I do remember.
Yeah, it was the contract was signed, and as you kind of glance over it, oh, my camera's just gone out. Come on,
It's
work.
all right.
Not the camera for you guys on stream, but the camera on Discord does not want to work apparently. Come on, work. No, okay. But yeah. The contract itself doesn't look to have changed in any way, shape, or form. There we go. I'm back again. And what was the last thing that you were going to try, Temple?
I would cast Dispel Magic in case it's magic.
Okay. As you cast the spell, go ahead and roll me a d20 plus 1.
Okay, that is 4th level.
Yeah.
If
Oh, you're
I'm-
casting
I'm
at 4th
actually-
level.
Yeah, there's like at higher levels, it makes it so that it's
Yeah, like if it's a higher
like a
spell
higher
slot.
level spell would
Yeah.
be.
Yep. I
Yeah.
still need you to roll me a d20 plus 1. Wrong
Is
chat.
that the right chat? No, that is wrong.
The street.
14. You bring your hands together and utter a very short, soft prayer to Nerul and just essentially ask that any magical effect that would be afflicting this dragonborn and potentially bringing his untimely death be removed from his system. As you kind of glance over to Jakar, there is another soft black glow that emits in his chest before it just disappears and fizzles out, seemingly not having any effect.
Did that seem different at all, or was it equally as ineffective looking?
It will look just as ineffective as the others.
I have one last thing I can try today. Put my hand on his shoulder
Mm-hmm.
and ask Nerul, what ails this man? Is it his time?
Okay, go ahead and roll me a religion check, please. 9. High or low?
High.
As you place your hand on his shoulder, reach out and try and contact your god. There is no response.
Whatever it is that ails you, it's surely a dark magic, if anything. If it is a disease, though, I have a spell that will allow me. That will tell me what it is, but I'd have to prepare that and come back tomorrow.
You could. Oh, hold on. Sorry. My computer's just popped up saying that something bad has happened for some reason. But it is that notification is wrong. Computer, stop lying to me.
Windows.
Yeah, no,
something bad has happened. This may take a
Yeah,
few
window
minutes.
it's just popped up like, yes, your input device has been disconnected. I'll look up my voice mod and it's wrong because it's not been disconnected. Windows, stop lying to me. But yeah, as you suggest that, I would greatly appreciate if you're able to find out what exactly it is. Perhaps I can whip up a vaccine. If I know what it is, I can surely cure myself of it. I've had to do that with several poisons in the past.
If it is a poison, this spell will surely tell me. It will tell me what creature caused the poison, if any, and if it's a disease, likewise, I will know the same.
You're clearly unwell, and Temple's not able to do anything now. If any of these would help you, and I'll take out the pouch and sort of open up the cloth onto a table which has got 3 blue sapphires, 1 opal, 1 star ruby, 1 star sapphire, 1 yellow sapphire in.
You have been collecting. I see. I can most
Well,
certainly use these for enchantments of sorts. Do any of you have anything of need?
Right now, Jakar, I think the best thing for you is rest. We can.
There is no point in me resting. If I go and lie down and rest, I am of no use to anyone. I can still work. I am still able to provide you assistance.
But if you don't survive the night, I'm not going to be able to tell you what was wrong with you. And even if I am,
If I don't
I
survive the
won't
night,
have to live long enough for us to fix whatever it is.
I don't think whether I'm up and working is going to change the fact whether I survive the night or not. In comparison to resting.
For now, Jakar will not burden you with working on anything with these items. However, if you could tell us what these are, I'll put those 4 potions down that Neftari tried. We couldn't work out what they were.
Okay, give me one moment. I actually need to bring up my combat rewards because I can't actually remember myself. Owned by me. Last
Yeah,
modified by me.
Where did we get the potions from?
So there were the potions from the ancient white dragon fight. Oh yes, them, the things where you dip your finger in and drank a tiny little bit of it and it hurt you.
Well, Neftari turned into a mouse and tried it, and it didn't go well.
Yes, it didn't go well. Yeah, you pop the 4 potions down and he looks at them. Picks up one of the vials, lifts it up to the light and swirls it around. And as he swirls it around, you do see, notice now, like in the light, in comparison to the dark cave where you first tried them out, there does seem to be what looks to be a gold highlight that kind of flows through the vibrant red liquid within the potion itself. Just, I would keep a hold of these if I were you. Don't let them go to waste. They are quite expensive potions. They are potions of supreme healing.
Why did they kill a mouse?
Wait, kill a mouse? What?
We. I turn around and realise Neftari's legged it out of the room. Neftari, we tried it. He turned into a mouse. We wanted to see what the effects were and put a small amount into a spoon, and he drank it and was immediately damaged and turned back into himself.
That's because none of you have any idea how alchemy works, do you?
I don't.
No,
You really don't.
no, we don't.
If you're going to consume a potion, you need to take the entire thing for its effect, for the effect of the potion to actually affect your body. Taking a sip on a healing potion will. Well, Nathalie is lucky he wasn't poisoned by it. It is very dangerous to consume part of a potion. You must consume the entire thing for the magic within the liquid to actually take effect and flow through your body. Too little of
That
it.
makes a lot of sense.
It could kill you.
Well, we know they're useful. They wouldn't be any good for you, would they?
I've
One of
tried
these?
making my own and consume them. They keep me up with the fluids I'm losing, but nothing seems to be working at the moment.
Okay. The gems, we'll talk about those later. We'll let Temple and Neftari work on their own skills. And
Of course. But I do not want to stop working, so discuss with your companions what you want me to do with them. I will do whatever I can to make whatever it is you might need.
we'll get back to you. Biggest concern now is your health, but we'll have a conversation. I'm going to slowly make my way out of the room into the corridor.
Temple, are you leaving as well?
Yes.
All right, cool. And you guys turn to leave. Jakar just simply nods to you and again starts coughing and hacking as you leave the room and close the door behind you. But even so, you can still hear the muffled sounds of Jakar coughing his guts out every now and then. And just for out of game, that was I can force myself to cough quite a thing as and when I choose to. So I'm not infected with the Rona or anything like that. At least I've not been confirmed. I haven't had to go and test because I feel fine. But yeah, I'm not infected with the Rona or anything like that. I can just suddenly cause myself to cough my guts out as and when I choose to. So you don't need to worry about me.
Yeah, that cough
I
actually
have quite a
does sound like
magical
dying.
power, actually. Also, I don't ever need to cough ever, except when I'm in a supermarket where it's sociably not acceptable to cough.
Right.
The
Okay.
minute
Yeah.
I walk in a shop, I just need to cough all of a sudden, despite being fine the rest of the day.
And then you get this strange looks from the people, and they kind of shy away from you at this present moment in time. Like, oh God, she has the Rona.
No.
She has the space AIDS. Because that's probably where it comes from.
Space. I agree.
Hey. Anyway, what are you guys wanting to do now?
Well,
I assume I was just hanging outside the door.
clearly very ill. Temple, do you think you can help him?
I've not met anything I haven't been able to cure, but then I haven't met a huge amount of people. I'll
Hey,
be
did you-
preparing the spell which permits me to detect poison and disease. And as far as I'm aware, that should always work unless it's something outside the realm of normal magic.
Did you try a lesser restoration on him?
I did. That would have cured poison and any typical disease, I believe.
Oh.
Likewise, I cast Remove Curse. And I also cast Dispel Magic. Or Dispel Magic effectiveness, unlike the others, does depend on the spell used. But I don't know, it seemed the spell went okay. And nothing at all changed.
You know, I learned a spell of greater restoration lately. Do you think that'd do any good?
It could be. DM, what's the difference? I feel like I would know, but I mean, obviously, by all means, if I need to roll for that.
No, you know. So lesser restoration is where is it? It's just certain conditions like blinded, deafened, paralyzed, and poisoned, and any kind of disease. Greater restoration is essentially like that, but on steroids. You imbue a creature you touch with positive energy, undo a debilitating effect. You can reduce target's exhaustion level by 1 or end one of the following effects on the target. The effect of that charmed or petrified the target. One curse, including the target's attunement to a cursed magical item. Any reduction to one of the target's ability scores, and one effect reducing the target's hit point maximum. And so it's like basically lesser restoration, but on steroids.
Well, it is possible, Neftari. That's not a spell I have access to. As I'm sure you know, most of my magic is focused on combat and revival of the dead, but it's certainly possible.
It mean going back in there and touching him, though.
Well, surely you'll be fine. I mean, your constitution among anyone I've ever met is spectacular. You've eaten things that I'm quite sure were not meant to be eaten. And likewise, I'm always here to help.
Yeah, but when people are coughing up blood, I mean, unless I've caused the injury myself, it's it's not good.
Sorry,
if you're that concerned about catching something, I just point at my little period of health. This makes you immune, so do you want to borrow it? I mean, you gave it to me.
Well, actually, I think I'm immune to disease anyway.
So then, why are you concerned?
Doesn't have a point, no.
I guess then.
What, do sick people just weird you out?
When they're coughing up blood, like they're coughing like that, yeah.
Natari, the man needs help. He's clearly severely unwell. If there's something you can do, I mean, I've still got the cloth bag with all the jewels in my hand. He can do a lot with this stuff.
Right. Okay. I hold my breath and I go in, swing the door back up, and
before you do that, Neftari, did you ever go and collect the 100 gold pieces worth of diamond dust?
I think I had it in my inventory. I've got the stuff for 2, I think, great restorations and 2 revivify.
Oh, yep, I do see that. Yes, 2 casts of great restoration. So yeah,
Right.
hold your breath and make your way back inside.
I shake my head going in because it's you know I feel like I'm going into a coronavirus ward or something. Even though I'm immune to disease,
it's a placebo effect essentially. Yeah, as you just kind of step in, Jakar's disappeared once again into the back through the kind of leather fabric curtain that's there at the back. You can hear him coughing and spluttering a little bit in the back room, but he is not aware of you being there.
I'm going to enter the room following, but I'm going to let Neftari do his thing.
Mm-hmm.
okay. Gonna go scuttling over to him and
He's in the back. He's not in the front. Yeah.
Jakar, I'm gonna try and heal you. Just don't cough on me.
He kind of steps out and looks at you, glances at Temple. Yes, you have something you can help? Which, of course, you don't understand at all, because you don't speak Draconic. Temple, on the other hand, you heard that. You understood that, because Carolina has cast tongues on you, so you understand him fluently. But Neftari, you have no idea what he's just said.
Just gonna go to him, lay my hands on his shoulders, and cast it. How long does it take to cast this? Actually,
Greater Restoration, 5th level, I'm pretty sure, is an action, so it's just a few seconds. High or low, please, Neftari.
Hi.
DM, if I'm within 10 feet of anyone, you get a +1 on a saving throw if they're friendly. Just in case it matters. I don't know what's going on, obviously. So
it's not a saving throw, so you don't. It's not going to apply, unfortunately. As you kind of what you do, Neftari, is you reach into your pack and pull out the one of the small pouches of diamond dust, pour it into your hand, and kind of just rub your hands together to envelop your hands completely in this very fine diamond dust. As Jakar kind of steps out towards you, you place your hands on both of his shoulders, close your eyes, and there's a soft, kind of cream glow that's got a hint, like a tint of mint green flows from your hands and crosses his body. You see him he closes his eyes and takes a very deep breath, and for a moment you think to yourself that it's done it. Before there's a splattering across your face as he finishes taking his deep breath and coughs with a spattering of blood across your face. Oh no, I rolled a 16 on the D100, so yeah. As he coughs, he starts to cough his guts out. And
it's going to be a scream.
Say that again?
There's going to be a really loud scream.
as it happens.
Sound of a cat with its tail being trodden on comes from inside.
I can just imagine just ew, 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 ew.
There will be a blur as if Tariq is running past everyone.
And just sprints out of the room. Jakar just kind of like, well, that clearly didn't work.
For the benefit of your knowledge, and should someone else try to heal you in our absence, we have now failed with a lesser and greater restoration, a remove curse, and a dispel magic spell.
I will try and keep note of that for if anyone else comes to try and aid me.
We will not be giving up on you, Jakar. I will be back after I've rested and can therefore have prepared spells.
Of course. And hopefully I'm still standing by tomorrow. right. So,
As we're
Neftari,
outside, we see Neftari go past us.
yeah, just like he just sprints out. All you hear is "Ew!" as he runs by. Passively, you do see a spattering of blood on his face as he runs past the two of you, Victorious and Corlina, and just disappears down the hall.
Well, he
What are the
ran.
rules on preparing spells? Is it per long rest you can do it?
For Paladin, it's a long rest.
Okay. Thank you.
I'll turn to Coralina. Well, at least that's taken the drama out of the situation.
Yep. I mean, more questions are here, but yeah.
So what happened with Jakar?
He had Clara recommended that I go and see him because he had a potion that could help me figure out this whole mess, and I drank it, so I should know within a few minutes to a few hours, and if I don't hear back in 24 hours, I'll come back and see him, which we're probably gonna end up doing anyway. But on a positive note, if he dies, Temple can bring him back.
Wow, that is so morbid.
I'm just going to
Neftari's
take
rubbing off on her.
I'm going to take the bag of jewels that I've got in my hand, look at them, and just sort of. Yeah. I'm going to put them away into my quiver.
You're not wrong.
Should we go after him?
Eventually, yes. Do you want me to go?
Today's turning out to be a very strange day. I'll be out in the yard practicing until nightfall.
Why nightfall? I know you sleep and all that, but don't you usually wait till like a little bit later or something? I know you like to stay out, but
I've got to have a talk with Eidos.
oh,
We're not going to be here that long.
Well, just let me know and I can have the teleportation circle ready. But I gotta stock up, and I will bother Jakal when he is gotten some rest.
I think we should hold off going anywhere until at least the morning. Give Jakar every chance we can to help him. And if he can't be helped, then well,
we can always find somebody that can.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. I'll see if I can catch up with Neftari. Misty Step should be appropriate.
Temple, do whatever you need to do to give him the best chance.
Well, I'm going to wait here and prepare my spells and get the right guidance to be able to use detect poison and disease. If it does nothing, it does nothing, but it will at least eliminate whether or not it's a conventional disease or poison of any kind.
The continent he mentioned, have any of you heard of it before?
The three of you that are there, go ahead and roll me history checks.
Oh boy, I'm actually kind of good at those. Yeah.
Let's see. 11, 8, and a 29, because you plus 10 to history. Jesus Christ. Which is only going to get higher. Yeah. Victorious Temple, you guys have never heard of the continent of Elroth. Carlina, you've heard stories of the continent. It's It's an interesting one because it's a continent that seems to actually be run by dragons. Like, oh, well, not run, but governed almost. So it does have its like each like lord of land has their own laws which are enforced, of course, but ultimately the four dragons that are the wardens over the land essentially dictate a lot of the ongoing, like the political structure of the land and monitor the people. But other than that, even on a 29, you don't know much else. You haven't actually been there yourself. But yes, if you were to take an airship from Umberport and head south, it would probably take you about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks of travel to get to Elroth.
What he described sounded remarkably similar to the beasts that Neftari has a contract to control.
Well, that's not good.
And
Maybe-
it also means that their creator is, let's say, his influence is spread a little further than local farms.
Mm-hmm.
You know, many poisons are found by killing and using the poison and reverse engineering it in some way. Perhaps if we found one of these creatures and gave it a right old kicking, maybe we could use its blood and perhaps some of Jakar's alchemical knowledge to figure out how to reverse the effects.
Well, if it's the same creatures Neftari has a contract with, I mean, it wouldn't take much to get it.
I suppose, although another thing worries me, and often the remedies for poisons and venoms of creatures are found within the plants in its environment. And I'm not really sure if that's where our cure is. I'd be very worried about the kind of environment whatever was used to create these creatures comes from.
Yeah, that country may be worse off than you guys are.
I
No,
was
I'm more
thinking more
worried.
along the lines of hell.
Wait, you can
Beast.
actually go to hell? People aren't just lying when they tell you to go to hell?
Can I get a fact check on that, DM? There is some sort of hell, isn't there?
You don't even need to roll anything for that. You guys are well aware of the existence of the 9 hells.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there's 9 of
I
them,
didn't
in
know
fact.
that was a... Well, the bard said there was only 7 if you're a bard. So...
I think that's because they enjoy the first two.
Maybe.
As you go deeper, the sin rives more deeply. The deeper into the hell you are, the more terrible your crimes.
That sounds terrible. Let's never go there.
I believe the implication is that the top ones are the minor sins, like debauchery and the like.
Okay.
Some of us are doomed.
And then there's the 9th hell, where all the really dark stuff is.
Look, my-
Speaking of which, funny story actually, Coralina. You might not know this. Don't tell them, guys. Don't tell them. I actually once drew a card from the deck of many things, and would you know it? It was the devil card.
Am I aware of the deck of many things, DM?
Go ahead and roll me an intelligence. Actually, go ahead and roll me a 2 intelligence checks, please, for me, Coralina. 2 separate ones.
Okay.
Okay, so 15 for the first, 24 for the second. So first things first, on a 15, and this is only for you though, Coralina. Everything that Temple's just described to you about the 9 hells makes 0 sense. Because the laws of physics, heat rises. So it'd be
Yeah.
the ninth level of hell would probably be like the lesser sins, like debauchery.
Mhm.
Whereas all the worst shit would probably be on the first level of hell. So that'd be the
Yeah,
hottest.
yeah, that's how physics works. Yeah.
So you're aware of that. And on the 24, oh yeah, you know what the deck of many things is. And you know not to fuck with it.
Why would you have that?
Oh, fun story, actually. Our good friend Aaron just found one
Please
lying
tell
around.
me you
in
don't
an
have it.
Oh, no, we don't have it. It was taken away. I believe one of the dragons confiscated it from Aaron. It is in this building, however. But yes, anyway, we drew all sorts of cards. It
Please
was
don't go
hilarious.
near it.
Oh, I don't know where it is.
Thank the
But it
gods.
sure would be fun to have a know. Aaron got the biggest sword, and I'm being hunted down by a devil. Still haven't met him. He must be
You're
real
right.
deep in that hell. Real deep, because it's taken him forever.
Right. I'm gonna make sure Neftari doesn't like scrub the flesh off of his face from being coughed on. I'll be back.
Sure. I wonder what my devil's called. Stephen, perhaps.
As Carolina abruptly exits stage right and just immediately walks away from the pair of you. Before we get over to you guys, Temple, you said that you were going to stay where you were. Are you wanting to do your Sentry's Rest just outside Jakar's room? So remember, it is probably only about like maybe 10 o'clock in the morning at the moment in game.
I'm going to go down to the main hall, and should you need me for anything, or should we need to leave urgently, please contact me, but I will be preparing my spells immediately, because time could very well be of the essence here.
All right. So
So
down to the
yes, I
Great
will be
Hall.
starting my sentry rest,
Yeah.
near immediately.
So down to the Great Hall, like in a corner somewhere, just out of the way to Sentry's Rest and take a long rest in order to prepare different spells. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. I just need to add I had a slot I wasn't using. I must have got that when I leveled up. I'll just be
Probably.
adding detect poison and disease.
All right, cool. But unfortunately, that will put you out of commission game time wise for the full 8 hours to.
Yeah, of course,
complete the
unless
wrong
we cut that
ones.
short for whatever reason. But that's
Yeah, if we do like
what happens.
if no one has any other shenanigans they want to get to, then that of course that will be cut short to like in the essence of time 8 hours later. There you go. But in the meantime, you will be inactive for the next 8 hours. So, Corlina, as you take off, and I'm assuming with a free Misty Step, blink forward to try and catch up to Neftari, who has just like gone screaming past you. Red blood smears across his face. What are you wanting to do?
Well, he had plenty of a head start because we even had a full blown conversation while he was running away. So I guess
What's
try to
the
catch up with
range
him.
of Misty Step?
30 feet, I
only
think.
30 feet, yeah. So, yeah, no, you would have to go and hunt him down to try and catch him. So I will divert to Neftari and ask you, where are you going after you just run off?
He's going to the bathroom or a washroom to find a sink to scrub his face.
Okay. Head straight back to your bedroom then. There's not any like public areas. You would have to go straight back to your bedroom for that kind of thing. Like any public washroom.
There's still a bit of a pond to it.
No, not really, because the smell was kind of pushed out of the window, which did cause the death of a poor innocent bystanding bird.
It might be okay. We just saw it slam 70 feet past the window.
Yeah, well, it fell from an unknown height to slam on the windowsill with an abrupt crunch, and then plummeted another 70 feet. So that would be another.
could be fine.
Remember, fall damage is a d6 per 10-foot fallen. So
DM, I want you to make a medicine check.
what is my modifier?
Plus 10 because you're the DM.
He's dead.
4 because it's a broken, unconscious bird.
That's a 15. So yeah, it's dead.
Oh.
I mean, that would have been. I would say probably a good 12d6 worth of damage for this poor bird, and birds don't have that much HP. So
Look,
this poor
I
bird
tried.
is probably dead.
It was Despair's time. The Lord Nerul has commanded that it's Despair's time. That's it. That's all I can do.
Yeah, but unfortunately, it wasn't the natural cycle of life and death.
It was the
It was.
unnatural cycle of Bacon and Neftari.
Well, no, it was a
Fine,
natural
fine.
cycle of Bacon and Neftari, but it was
It was expedited.
I'm not
No
even going
creature
to
should
Fine,
eat
get into
another
that.
bacon.
Fine. Well, I can't cast Revivify on the bed because I've used my 4th level spell slot. So, Neftari, you're going to have to go out there and turn it into a squirrel or something.
You only got 1 4th level spell slot still? Yeah, you do. I thought you got
Yep.
the second 4th
Spell
level.
slots don't grow very good with paladins. You don't get high level ones.
Yeah, no, I'm
lots
well
of
aware
them.
of that, but I thought you'd got a 14th level. I thought you guys got. I thought paladins got like an extra 4th level spell slot, but it must be 15th level. I'm pretty sure you get your first 5th level spell slot next level.
Ooh.
I think. Let me check off a.
I still haven't
Bingo
got
moment.
any kinds of magical steps.
Let's check off a bingo.
Oh, what
moment
I do
and
with
check
magic
your paladin's stats here and yeah, I'm actually right. Next level, you get your second 4th level spell slot, and you actually don't get your 5th level spell slots until 17th level. So long way to go yet.
Wow.
But you do next level, you do get your second 4th level spell slot.
Laughs and wizard.
Shut up, you.
I mean, I'm squishy as fuck, so.
Yeah, you
Also-
only just hit triple digits HP.
Mhm.
Also, you can do what you want. If I deliberately kill a swan, I lose all my powers.
Not necessarily true, but I mean,
I don't know.
just so
I
long
mean,
as you don't go around claiming that orcs aren't people and murdering a group of innocent hunters, then you probably won't go through.
swans are people and hunters are not innocent.
That's
And then bang,
that
and
is
then
a
I'm
reference that Kayla and I will get into with you guys once the session is over, because it is one hell of a horror story that Kayla can tell. It is great.
Mhm.
How many updates on Reddit have you got for that yet so far? It's like 500.
536.
536 updates on Reddit for Kayla's D&D horror
Updates.
story.
That's all the updates.
Updates, lots of updates. Anyway, so yeah, Corlina, as you kind of without using your Misty Step, since it is only 30 feet, you're able to, like, as you're walking along, you notice that Neftari isn't anywhere in the immediate vicinity. But with
I don't hear screaming.
you hear screaming coming from like downstairs 2 floors, and you can assume it's Neftari screaming. Go ahead and roll me a investigation check. Oh look, it's another check that you're incredibly good at.
Yeah.
14. Yeah, no, you can, the screaming does seem to be coming from the residential halls, so you could assume that Neftari has probably gone screaming his head off to like the bedroom in order to get into the bathroom to clean himself of.
Oh God, why would you want to go in there?
I mean, it's the only place that you can go to get cleaned, so. But you don't
Yep.
do that.
I guess I'll go down 2 floors and follow the sounds of the screaming.
Yeah. All right. As the screaming does come to an end eventually, but you do manage to make your way into the bedroom. I'm assuming is left open, by the way, Neftari. You haven't locked the door behind you or anything like that.
No, he was just. He might have cast
straight
haste on
in.
himself. Yep.
Yeah, straight down, straight in, no hesitation. Just get this blood off of me. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Even though you've ate, much worse. Still.
Yep.
But yeah, as you're finishing up, getting yourself cleaned up, and making sure that your face is thoroughly scrubbed clean of this blood, stepping into the bedroom, Carolina is there. Who's just apparently just walked in. Is there, like, come checking on you.
Yep. Just
Sorry,
basically waiting for you.
I might be immune to disease, but that guy's dying. All those spells we cast on him, cure disease and stuff, heal. Well, they didn't do any good.
Well, maybe it's a delay. I don't know. I don't deal with healing stuff, but I didn't think you'd go running off at getting a little bit of blood on your face.
It's not just blood, it's disease blood. He didn't cough on you, did he?
Did he cough on me?
High or low, Carolina?
Hi.
No, surprisingly, he didn't. I mean,
no.
For the most part, when you were speaking to him, you weren't actually in physical contact with him. You were like a couple of feet away from him at normal talking distance, and anytime he coughed, he was turning away from you. The reason that you were coughed on Nethar is because you did get physical with him. You did plant your hands on his shoulders within arm's reach, and didn't really give him the opportunity to turn away from you as he started coughing his guts out. So, it kind of is your own fault, but hey, I'm just the DM.
Mm-hmm. But no, he didn't cough on me or anything. No, he at least turned away from me when he had to. But yeah, I've never seen anything like that before.
Yep. Well, sorry, stay alive. Stay away from sick people.
Typically, yeah. But you're immune to disease, so you could hang around them and be fine.
It doesn't mean I want to do that, though.
That's understandable. But at least you haven't scrubbed your face raw. It's always good.
Is he fluffy, Neftari?
Your face is kind of fluffy. Because you did have to wash down your face, but other than that, not so much.
Right, so what was the plan now?
I think Temple's gonna see if he can figure out what Shaka's afflicted with, but he has to sleep for that. So I left him to do that. I think Vic is gonna do some stuff with Ados later in the evening. So that just leaves us.
Oh, he walks over to the door and closes it. So being pregnant doesn't. Well, I'm clean now.
I don't know. I don't know whether or not I am or not. So I don't know. But I mean, given my sister's track record, her and her husband were quite occupied. Apparently hormones are terrible things.
So, you mentioned your father was trying to breed a sorcerer.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's why he had all of myself and my siblings. Sorcery's pretty sought after in the Orn Plain because, we're descended from Jinn, so they're very powerful, beings of air. So the closer you can get to that lineage, the more desirable you are.
Well, I tell you, I was taken in by a druid. That's how I learned to become a druid.
Well, no, you didn't mention that part, but I assumed you learned from someone. Or at least you were naturally gifted? I don't know.
No, there was talk that there was some inherent magic around me.
Mm-hmm.
And the druid might have done something to take that away from himself or something. I don't know.
I don't know. DM or druid's a common thing in the Orn Plain.
I would say no. There isn't much to go on in regards to druidic circles within the Orn Plane of existence. It's mainly your wizards and your sorcerers derived from Jinn descendant.
I don't know. We don't usually. I know not a lot about druidic stuff. That's just not a thing that's done there. No really need to.
Sorcerers just channel magic naturally, don't they?
Yeah, they're born with it.
It's just feeling the magic.
Just brute force and ignorance. A more polite term would be an arcane savant.
Well, I mean, I was very young, but it's just, I don't know what happened. I became a druid anyway. But the druid who took me in, he definitely, he wanted me for something. It was not all that bothered about going back there, really.
What, to like your circle, I guess? Or
the circle? No, I wasn't part of their circle. They were circle of the mountains. I managed to join the circle of the grassland. That's only because I'd seen what the druid who took me in. You get to see a few things, and I kind of blagged my way into the circle of the grassland a few years later.
So you got to pick your own circle?
Well, it's you kind of do. But at the time, I wasn't actually properly a druid, and by the time they realized I knew enough to be a druid, and it was I've learned to become a druid over the years, though.
So you're more self-taught?
It's most druids pray to the gods of nature, and I always felt I was just kind of part of nature already.
I mean, in theory, you're not wrong. Like I said, I don't know, but I mean, you're a person, and if nature is everything around you, you're technically a part of it, I think. I don't know. Look, as soon as I was old enough to read it, here are these books, here are these notes, here's a tutor. Do this. And, well, here I am.
Where is it? It was all more of an accident for me. That's
Well, sometimes the best things in life are on accident. So I don't think people really go about planning everything. Because you can't take into account every contingency.
he just smiles at her and hugs her.
All right. With that, move back to Victorless. Victorless, what are you wanting to do now that as you and Temple have made your way down to the main hall, the entrance hall, you do watch as Temple does kind of make tracks into the Great Hall to shut down for a few hours to prepare a different set of his new spells to try and help Jakar. What is it that you would like to go and do for the time being? You're muted, Adam.
Okay. Yeah, once Temple's got into his kind of resting state, I'm just going to grab up some supplies, a bit of food, things like that, snacks to keep me going, and then I'm going to go back out to my spot in the yard,
and continue
and I'm
to
going
work
to
on your
continue doing my training and my book stuff.
All right, cool. Given so it'd be about 10 a.m. at the moment, roughly. For the long rest. Oh, come on. Why is my headset doing this to me now? Anytime I plug it in, it always gives me static. Right. So yeah, 6 hours for Temple. But it'd be 10 a.m. So if you so choose to, you can get up to. You could probably get a full 12 hours on your book today if you would like to, unless you have something else you want to do.
No, literally, the only thing that Vic's worried about this is meeting with Eidos this evening. He's gonna, yeah, like you said, if you need me, I'll be out in the yard studying. So until someone comes and interrupts him, he's pretty much going to be doing that. And like I say, he'll take some sort of food and stuff with him to snack on during the day.
Actually, you've got 17 hours left, right?
Yep.
If you so choose to, you technically, if my math is correct, be able to finish off the 17 hours through into the morning, and then still have 5 hours to get your long rest of your 4 hours of meditation in without taking a point of exhaustion.
No, he would work until late into the evening. Once people start going to bed, because that's when Eidos told him to come and see him.
Okay. So yeah, you'd get probably a solid 12 hours.
Okay.
It'd be about 10 p.m. when people finally start to filter out and go to sleep, and you'd be able to have your moment of privacy to discuss your plans with Eidos. But unless anyone has anything very specific they want to do in the meantime, we'll go ahead and fast forward 6 hours.
I only had light shenaniganery that could probably take up the space of like 2 minutes. Just
Yeah.
a wagered chess game. Yep. If Neftari agrees, wagered chess game. If he beats me, I'll open up the mansion. He gets whatever he wants in the mansion. If I beat him, he owes me a favor.
Sure.
And you're taking up on that. All right, cool. I would like both of you to go ahead and roll me intelligence checks, please.
I dread to think what the mansion would look like with Neftari free to roam.
That's a 10 from Carolina.
Oof.
8 from Neftari. So the first few opening moves, Carolina does swiftly start taking several pieces of the chessboard. Neftari, you've played Dragon Chess before, but you're no master at it. Mechanically speaking, you're not proficient with Dragon Chess, so I'm just taking that into consideration. But you're very quick to learn, so you are able to kind of pick up on the rulings and movement of the different pieces, but you're slowly lagging behind. Both of you go ahead and roll me another intelligence check, please.
You can't move that there. Well, why not? That's not what that piece does.
That piece can only move forward. On its first initial movement, it can move forward twice. Otherwise, it can only move forward once. But why can't it move diagonally? It can only move diagonally if it's taking another piece. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
On a 5 to 17, yeah, Carolina, you're slowly starting to put it simply, trounce Neftari. You're making very strategic moves, taking very important pieces. Probably
Bishop Pinson maneuver.
Yeah, I know. You've managed to check his king several times. You're slowly positioning yourself to a point where you will probably be able to checkmate him in the next.
Look, when all of your siblings are smart too, you learned it real quick of strategy in chess and how not to get your ass beat.
I would like both of you to go ahead and roll me another intelligence check. Potentially the last. Yeah, probably the last one. Yeah, unfortunately. Neftari, you slowly start to get the feeling that perhaps the dice have been stacked against you for this entire bout of strategic thinking in this game of chess, considering you've probably only played Dragon Chess like once or twice in your life, whereas Carolina was essentially raised on Dragon Chess. Yeah, you've been like, the game is conceded, and apparently now you owe her a favor. Although the odds were definitely not in your favor of winning that wager.
Okay, next time we play poker, do you play poker? Have you ever played poker?
I can learn. Snap, conjure a deck of cards.
Oh, you guys are going to play poker?
Yeah, fuck it, why not?
All right, you playing 5-hand or Texas Hold'em?
We'll go 5-card stud.
Well, it's Neftari's game, so.
Oh yeah, so hand over deck of cards.
You pick Dragon Chess, Neftari. Are you playing 5-card stud or are you playing Texas Hold'em?
Either or, Texas Hold'em.
Texas Hold'em. All right, so you will need someone to mediate your game.
Barkley.
All right, cool. Yeah, with a snap the fingers and a plume of brown smoke, Barkley kind of swoops down and drops down onto the table, kind of looks up to Neftari and slowly turns to you, Carolina.
We need you to mediate. Neftari said we need a mediator for this game. So I am asking you to be very impartial.
I will try my best to be impartial with you and the Druid.
Do we get to see Barkley try and deal cards?
Barkley kind of looks between the two of you. And what am I mediating exactly?
What is this game called again?
Poker. Texas Hold'em.
Poker.
I don't know. It's something poor people do.
Actually, surprisingly, you kind of glad just between the two of you. Would someone please shuffle the deck for me? I can't really do that with talons and a beak.
Right. Well, it's
Can
your
I
game.
try a really fancy shuffle where he's
Go ahead and roll me a sleight of hand check. I want to see you shuffle, split the deck, split the deck, to see if you can actually shuffle this properly.
Or do you do it? Or do you do it proper poker style where they actually fan it out and then just whoosh?
So you're trying to be really fancy with this, with a +1. You managed to do the proper shuffle, the poker shuffle, fan out the deck, shuffle it all back together, shuffle. You try your luck with the with split the deck and then fan them through together, and as you do is the deck just scatters everywhere. There is a from Barclay who just groans as you manage to pick up all the cards. Definitely don't try that again. Shuffle them back up and then pop the deck down. Before Barclay. He does, surprisingly, he's very adept at drawing cards with his beak. He kind of he gently grasps it like in his beak, and then just with a subtle flick of the head manages to flick the cards over to both of you. I'm going to need something here. Let's see if I can do this.
I actually built a system of card playing for my D&D game that does exactly what you need
Nice.
for this.
Okay, so we're going to draw 2 cards from a 1 shuffled deck. Go. And let's see. So I'm going to drag my other Discord here, and I'm going to ping you guys in your notes channel the hand that you have been dealt. So we're doing this properly. Carolina. And all right, Carolina, that is your cards there. And again, Neftari, you have that.
Does it help that out of game I've only played Texas Hold'em like once?
No, but I've played plenty of Texas Hold'em, so we should be fine for this. So back, let's see. All right, so that's your hand there. Now, like a Barclay kind of as the rules of Hold'em poker, you both look at the cards in your hand, and if you so choose to, you may place down a wager or pass the check onto your opponent. And if you both decide to check, I will draw the 3 flop cards. And you can try your best to make the best hand out of the 5 cards that are presented to you. There will be another round of wagering at that point. Once you are both checked once again, there will be a turn card. If you have a better hand, again, another round of wagering before there is the final flop. And once the flop is made, you will both, after a final round of wagering, you will both turn your cards, and the best hand will be the winner. So, you both have your 2 cards. If you are satisfied with them, you may keep them and begin wagering. Otherwise, you may fold your opponent will automatically be decided as the winner, but because you have no wagers, nothing will happen, and I will draw you 2 new cards each, if you would like to do so. Now, my lady, would you like to keep your hand or fold?
I think I'll keep. I mean, I think my wager still stands. So.
And what is the wager exactly? I am not aware.
Neftari gets the Mordenkainen's Magnificent Mansion for 24 hours.
Yeah, Barclay's eyes just kind of open really wide for a moment, like. And Neftari, what is his wager?
He owes me a favor if he loses. So far I've got 1, so.
Well,
I thought you'd already won that favor. What you meaning to?
I'll go for 2. Why not?
What, do double or nothing?
Yeah.
You're raising me already?
Well, no, I assumed that was the wager when we started the game.
For the entire hand? Well, that's like going all in. We could just say we've gone all in. Do the rest of the cards, I guess. That's not really how poker works. It's more about bluffing your way all through the hand and making intimidating bets.
Well, I mean,
and a bit of sleight of hand and cheating as well, perhaps.
I mean, I don't have anything else to really offer besides the original wager I gave.
Perhaps another.
Neftari's now thinking up what can be bet. It's going to turn into one of those those weird games of poker, isn't it?
Well, yeah, probably.
He's going to play the game, teaching Carolina the finer intricacies of.
Okay. So you have the 2 cards of your hand, and Barclay just kind of very gently with his beak draws 3 cards and places them aside face down before drawing one, turning it face up, then another, and then another for the flop. I will just copy and paste this to both of you for you to be able to make your hand. But for those at home, because everyone gets access to the flop, is the 7 of spades, the Jack of hearts, and the 9 of hearts. So 2 of you can do with that as you will.
I'll try to stay in.
You are
So I guess that's
satisfied that you can make a winning hand with the 5 cards that have been presented to you, yes?
We'll definitely try.
Then it will turn to the turn card next. Is Neftari suitable with his cards?
Are you staying or?
You do see Barclays just kind of looking up at you questioningly, Neftari, because you can't understand him.
I should fold, really. These cards are terrible. But if I fold at this stage, then you automatically win the extra favor.
Mm-hmm.
You've made the wrong decision playing poker.
I mean, yeah. I mean, this could actually be pretty good. Do you want me to roll deception, DM? Are we bullshitting each other? Okay.
Yeah, go ahead and roll a deception check. Well, what do you say first?
Well, I mean, this seems like I could win.
Yeah. The moment the words are out of her mouth, Nestari, you hear a subtle kind of crack in her voice, and it's almost like a tell of, oh no, she doesn't have a good hand at all.
I mean, we could kind of say double or nothing.
Sure, mansion for 48 hours then. Or at least, like, I guess 2 separate occasions whenever you want it, no questions asked.
Okay.
Barclay just kind of slowly looks to you, Carlina, like, what the fuck are
What?
you
He said
doing?
double or nothing. He said double or nothing.
Well, if you are both refusing to fold, a turn. As he draws one card, leaves it face down and puts it to the side for drawing. And I will go ahead and post this to you. This is the turn card, Carolina and Nathtari. For those of you who are at home, it was the 6 of diamonds. So the 4 cards that are on the table, the 7 of spades, the Jack of hearts, the 9 of hearts, and the 6 of diamonds.
There's a bit of a frown at the 6 of diamonds.
And would you like to go into the flop now to determine the winner?
I mean, I'm okay. Are you okay with the flop?
Yep.
And once again, draws one card, sets it aside face down, draws one final card and pops it back up face up. And it is just check here. Cool. Yep, it is suitable. It is the King of Clubs. So the 5 cards that are on the table for you guys to make a hand from: the 7 of spades, the Jack of hearts, the 9 of hearts, the 6 of diamonds, and the King of Clubs. However, for those of you at home, we're keeping the actual 2 the 2 hand cards that the players have a secret, so that they can actually, try and bluff each other, both in game and out. Excuse you.
Sorry.
So, Barclay kind of looks between the two of you. If you are not willing to wager anything else, or if you choose not to fold, you may present your cards now, and we will determine the winner. The winner.
Okay. Who goes first with revealing? Do we just go at the same time?
You can reveal at the same time, or if you are very confident, you can reveal first. Whoever wishes to do so.
I got nothing. I thought I had a straight building, but nothing.
As
okay.
Atari flips his cards over and drops them down with a, unfortunately, subpar high card hand. He tosses over the 4 of clubs and the 5 of diamonds, with only the King of clubs being suitable in his hand with a high card. Carolina, you immediately just smile.
Well, flipping them over, revealing my cards. I've got 2 kings, and that would make 2 9s.
Oh.
With a Jack of hearts on the side to make a 2-paired hand. Carolina winning the double or nothing. Carolina, you have 2 favors of Neftari to call upon whenever you see fit.
Okay.
Well, actually, no, it'd be 3.
3 now. 3 now.
Because the 1 from the chess game, first bet, doubled or nothing. So yeah, you've got 3 favors to call upon Neftari as and when you choose to.
Normally I would have cheated in a game of poker, but
And why does that not surprise me?
Hush.
He just admitted that he would attempt to cheat in order to beat you.
I think that's what this game is about, though.
It is not about cheating. It is about deception. Cheating is completely different.
Well, either way, I still won, so.
Alright, so you want to call in any of those favors now, Carolina? Or is that going to be the end of your,
Maybe one of them.
Uh-huh.
So, anything I want, no questions asked.
Oh, God.
I want to learn how to ride a horse.
What? Here, right now?
Got time? Yeah.
Could have had anything. You could have said, "I want you to shave and and neaten up the beard." You know, you could have asked him to shower every day.
Sure,
not
but
International
That is a
Women's Day.
really like adorable, like a genuinely nice thing to learn. Actually,
Mhm.
you like a
sure.
little couple?
But if once it turned into a horse, you know, I can't speak.
I thought you could just conjure one.
Oh, well, that wouldn't be as fun. Okay.
I mean, if you want, we could always do that. I mean, does tongues work on a wild shape?
If let me quickly double check with tongues, actually, because I'm pretty sure the creature needs to be able to speak. Yeah, I mean, he'd be able to, like, when he, like, yeah, he still wouldn't be able to talk back to you, like, as a horse, because he doesn't actually.
Oh, okay.
Horses don't really. You'd be able to understand what you say.
Yeah.
But no, you wouldn't be able to talk back to you.
I thought I had something for it, but I wouldn't be able to hear you. But unless you want to, I mean, I guess you would be better temperament than a regular horse, I would think. I mean, because you would know I'm new, so.
Should we do it in here or head out
Not in here.
Alone house? Well, a horse in the bedroom. Last time I conjured animals in your bedroom, it was, you know.
Well, I said no, not in here.
Barkley and...
Well, I mean, either outside or I can summon the mansion, whichever works.
I will point out, my lady, that if he ever does something like that to me again, I will gouge his eyes out with my talons.
Understood. Barkley is still salty.
Barkley just kind of like looks at you like, "What, bitch? What did you just say?" Doesn't say
It
that,
is an
of
accurate
course.
statement.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll head out alone. We're going to need some reins and you know, bridles and stuff. There used to be a horse in the stable. We'll head down to the stables. Come on.
Okay. I mean, I don't know what any of that stuff is, but okay.
All right. So you guys are making your way down to the stables in order to learn how to ride and teach Carolina how to ride a horse. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
All right. Cool. With that, we're going to quickly shift over 6 hours later. I would like, Carolina, I would like you to go ahead and roll me 3 animal handling checks. And we will get back to them and let you know the results after a period of time, because 6 hours later, Temple, you move out of your Century's Rest state with your new spell prepared, which was what, detect poison and
It is specifically, the spell is indeed called, it's a level 1? Yeah, detect poison and disease.
Yeah, detect poison and disease.
Yeah,
So
quite a really good spell actually, based on the
it
description
is,
for a level
actually.
1.
But yeah, you have your detect poison and disease prepared, so you may now make your way back up to Jakar's apothecary and attempt to figure out exactly what this is.
Do I know where Victoralis is?
The
Or would
last
the
you
Victoralis be busy?
knew, Victoralis was outside.
I said
continuing
to
his-
everyone I'd be in the yard if anyone needed me. So
Yeah, so you can figure that Victoralis is still outside in the yard, conducting his dexterous trainings with the book that you'd purchased.
I'm sure a 20-minute break wouldn't be so bad, perhaps. I don't know. I'm going to go to the yard and just stand at the door and see if I can catch Victoralis's eye.
Yeah, and passively, Victoralis, as you're going through your exercises, you do catch sight of a temple standing just beside the main front entrance of the keep, glancing over in your direction.
Gonna nod over to Victoralis and then head on inside. I suppose it's up to him if he follows, and straight to Jakar.
Okay. And Victoralis, do you take the hint, or do you want to continue with the rest of your training before moving to Crusaders?
I've been 6 hours is quite a long time to have been training, so I'll make a kind of visual reference of the page that I'm on in the book. Close up.
Yeah, you are quite nearing the end, the end of the book. You'll probably that'll leave 11 hours. So if you were to do essentially nothing but that tomorrow, or for the most of the day tomorrow anyway, you'd probably be able to finish the book if you dedicated yourself to doing that the next day. And there goes my camera again.
And just gather up the last few bits of snacks and food that I've got. Take a munch on a few bits and pieces, realizing break is needed. 6 hours is long enough. Need a break. See temple. Start walking towards him, follow him.
Okay. Yeah, you follow along, and before long, you manage to catch up to temple as you make your way up to Jakar's apothecary. Anything you guys want to do as you're making your way upstairs?
Is the door open?
As you get
And
there,
also,
the
do we
door.
see anyone else on the way up? Do we see Neftaria, Carolina? I wouldn't go out my way to get them in this instance.
No, because at this point in time, they are actually currently out. They would be outside in the stables. Carolina being taught how to ride a horse at this present moment in time. That would have all been happening. Like the poker game and everything would have happened while you were in your Century's Rest, so you wouldn't see them on your way in. They would have been outside. And,
is the door open?
As you get there, the door is open. Yes.
Vic, we don't have a tongues spell handy, so if any of my Dragovian is rusty, if you wouldn't mind topping me up a little bit and correcting me.
I'll say.
I'm gonna knock on the door next to the wall next to the door and enter.
In Draconic, I'd just say, "Don't worry, I've got it covered." See if Temple understands.
Temple, go ahead and roll me an intelligence check.
Int.
9. It didn't sound quite right to you. You're not 100% sure what he said, but you're slowly getting there. You could assume like a couple more days of proper study, you might be able to become more fluent in the language. But yeah, as you guys enter, and there's a knock. You knock on the frame of the door and take a step inside. There's the light coughing and hacking come from the back before Jakar steps through the the fabric curtain and kind of looks between the two of you. And then Draconic just goes, I'm not sure if either of you can understand me. Your lessons, were they completed, Victorless?
They were.
Fantastic. So
And I'm a work in progress. In Draconic.
In Draconic. Intelligence check. And this will be the last one, so I'll take the average of this to determine like how well you're able to. So 16. Well, yeah, no, you're able to, like, you're at the stage now where you can hold like a not basic, but like a slightly more advanced conversation in Draconic, but you're not completely fluent in the language. So you'll be able to understand most of what Jakar says. But he kind of glances between the two of you. Quite impressive. Did you prepare that spell that you're talking about?
I did, and if I must say, I believe it's not the last plan we have up our sleeve, but it's the last spell I have up my sleeve that could potentially help us here. And I'm gonna cast it immediately.
Okay.
And that does a lot of things, and I'd imagine in an apothecary, I'm probably sensing quite a lot right now.
You are sensing quite a lot, actually. There are a multitude of different poisons and poisonous creatures within the vicinity. But predominantly, you do get the pick up a disease that is being emanated from Jakar himself.
You definitely have a disease of some kind, Jakar, although you didn't need my magic to tell you that. I'm going to approach and put my hand on his shoulder and see if I can glean more from this spell, see if I can figure out what we're dealing with here.
As you reach over and put your hand on his shoulder, he does like just. It's like I could tell that myself. I don't think I'm long for this world, honestly.
Not if I can help it.
As you put your hand on his shoulder, though, it's almost like the detect poison and disease just dissipates. You're able to tell that he is diseased, but the spell doesn't allow you to identify the disease itself.
Do I know if that's... Sorry, do I know if...
Yeah, sorry, on you go.
Sorry, go on. I'll let you.
I was just going to say, it's almost as if the disease itself is preventing you from being able to identify it.
Oh, interesting. Does that would I be able to, from process of elimination, know what it isn't, or would that depend on my own knowledge of diseases?
Go ahead and roll me a medicine check. 5. The only thing that you know from this, it isn't natural. A disease like this has to have been manufactured.
Jakar, I've never seen anything like this. It's almost as if the very disease itself is preventing me from being able to tell what it is. This spell, as far as I've always known, it should be flawless. I should know what the disease is that's afflicting you, but this is something else. This is something created, unnatural, like a curse, but it's a disease.
I guess if it's a disease, I can make a cure. I thought it was just an illness, but if you have confirmed that it is actually a disease afflicting me, I can.
It is.
Take my blood
Jakar.
and analyze it, and hopefully create a vaccine.
Certainly, we probably should take a small vial of your blood, but as far as alchemical knowledge goes, and none of us come close to your own ability, do you think perhaps if we found a steel predator, killed it, and brought it here, would that assist with the finding of a cure?
I do not know.
Get hold of its poison?
Now, you've been away for a long time, and as was I. There is no guarantee that this steel predator is the cause of it. It merely attacked me. The same creature attacked all of you, yes?
I'm going to use minor illusion to create an image of what we encountered.
Mm-hmm.
Here's one I
Like a
made
small,
earlier.
like, almost like a hologram of it in the air.
And he looks at it. Yes, that is the thing. It attacked you as well, yes? Or one of its
We
kind.
encountered them.
As far as we know,
Yes.
these are a creature constructed, like a machine constructed by a demon.
Interesting. No, did any of you get struck by the creature?
I don't know if Temple would know. I don't know because I wasn't there, so someone will have to.
I think you may have taken a couple of hits. Victorious, I'm pretty sure you may have
I think
taken
I took a hit or two. Yeah.
Neftari definitely took a hit. I think I'd have to go back and check the VOD because it was a streamed one.
It was a difficult fight. I believe we were all injured in that fight, or at least struck by the creature.
This has been afflicting me since I returned. It has been about a week. If you are not infected with the same disease, then it is safe to assume that this creature is not the cause of it.
Unless it affects only Dragovians, or perhaps this is a new development, a more advanced creature. You know how crossbows over the years have become more and more developed. Perhaps this construct, in the same sense, is a more powerful being that does more damage. There are so many variables here, Jakar.
Perhaps, but I will learn more once I begin my studies of my own blood and determine what exactly it is.
Is there anything you know of, Jakar, that would help you with your research? Any local plants, any non-local flora or fauna, something we could bring back here?
The only non-local that would be of any assistance would be the flora and fauna that I encountered in Elroth. Unless you intend to go there, I will not be able to accept any assistance from you.
Jakar, how did you travel to this land?
It was an airship from a friend of a friend.
Was this friend of a friend, perhaps? Because that sounds a bit ominous. Was this friend of a friend, perhaps, from over in Blackwall?
I last heard he was by Blackwall. I do not know where he is now. But
there was a guy that had airships down there, wasn't there?
There was, yes.
And there's only so many airships, I'm sure.
Oh, actually, no. In this world, the airships are actually they're not popular, but they're not like they're uncommon, but they're not like rare as fuck. Like, they are a typical means of transport for the more better off.
Jakar, we are at somewhat of a semi-privileged position in the sense that our mission does not require us to receive support for a cry from Taldori in particular. We can go to this land and meet people, and likewise, the use of teleportation magic allows us to return there should we wish. We can go we can maybe find these creatures, maybe find where they're coming from, and still do what we need to do to save a cry.
Perhaps, but I would not have you value my life over anyone, the lives of everyone else. You need to be seeking allies to help us against Genjor. Do not deviate in order
People
to
being
help me.
attacked by steel predators tend to be favorable when those steel predators are destroyed.
Well, we know the source of the steel predators, and if they're spreading to other continents, they're not the friendly little home experiment that the friendly demon said they were.
There was nothing friendly about that demons.
But
I'm not the kind to generalize
someone-
with human races. We're all individuals with humanoid races, but demons are something else entirely. I doubt he'll be where we left. Knowing where we are, I doubt he'd be where we last saw him. If his creatures are over there, then perhaps he's, well, I suppose maybe he's given out flyers. I mean, all it takes is a contract to summon these things, right? It could be anywhere, and could have given lots of flyers to the people of this new world. And maybe they've all been summoning them like crazy, and maybe that's our problem. As ridiculous as it sounds, the fact that these can be conjured via contract is a truly terrifying thought.
Not more terrifying than what we're dealing here in a cry.
If this is created by demons, if this disease comes from the construct of a demon, is it not inherently aligned with our goals?
Of course, but didn't Carolina say that if you know their name, it gives you some power of influence? He
Yes,
trusted us
which is
with his name.
why it would be very dangerous to approach this demon, and which is why I would hope we can find one of its creatures and find a cure. Because, I mean, yes, we could find and fight the creature among the many lands he could be in, but
Well, we have
he has
easy
power
access.
over many of us.
Neftari can just make good on his contract, and presumably there'll be someone here.
We'd have to have someone more of an expert, knowledgeable in these things, have a look at that contract before anyone does anything with it.
Sure, it won't go down well, but we've got some pretty good advice here in the keep. And if we were to summon them, we've also got some damn fine protection.
Yes, and what of the refugees?
We summon them in a confined space. We have 3 dragons. We have us. Between us, fairly sure that we can contain them.
Or we banish ourselves, then summon them, then we get unbanished. And I don't know, that was a silly idea. But something to think about.
But
We'd need to
we
find a
don't
safe
know.
place, perhaps in the forest. I wouldn't. There's enough danger outside of this castle. I would hate to bring any danger inside it, dragons or not.
Something we'll have to discuss.
It's one method of getting a steel predator.
Quickest method of getting a steel predator. We don't have time. We need to raise more support. We're not going to take this continent back by ourselves.
Is there anyone else in the keep,
needs of the
perhaps, who
many
would know?
outweigh the needs of the one.
That's I appreciate the sentiment, but if what you have, others have it, we could be in trouble. Everybody.
bad enough
seen anyone
seeing
else
the dead
afflicted by this.
rise.
Is there anyone in the keep that would know more than yourself, Jakar, of ailments such as this?
No. I'm the only person that has gone to Elroth and back. I have never stumbled across something like this.
Then that's our only variable there. If he's the only person that came from this land and the only person that has it, then probably safe to say that's where it came from.
I don't know what choice we have. This takes us far from our intended journey.
But
at the same time, we may be able to rally support.
and likewise, the Sadok can make all the swords he wants, all the shields he wants, and arm all of these people to fight back against the demons. But there's no real enchanting of weapons. There's no real potions or healing. Sure, there are other people with spells. Sure, there are other people who can craft potions. But as far as I know, Jakar's as vital to this to this settlement as even Rabior.
I appreciate the compliment, but I
Ramon,
am no more worthy of being here than anyone else.
you point me at someone who could make a sword as exquisite as this one, and I'll still disagree with you because you need help.
Perhaps.
I take it based on everyone's silence that I am wholly correct. And
I'm
we
not
should all
denying
do
that
what
I need help, but you should not focus on just me. You have a job to do, which isn't Eldore. I will be fine. I can manage this by myself.
We have another day, Jakar. We'll do what we can before we have to leave.
Of course. It is.
Look at it.
It is getting late. I'm going to run some tests on my own blood to determine if it would be possible to find a vaccine. I would recommend that you do what you can for the night, and you can make preparations in the morning if I cannot change your minds.
I'm just going to nod at Temple. Put my hood up. And head out.
And I walk away.
Till next time, Jakar. And I'm also gonna walk away.
And with that, with you guys leaving, I'm sorry, Adam. I did want to get to you and your
Yeah, that's cool. No worries.
talk with Ados. We will pick up on that the moment we pick up next week. But that is 11:45. We have run on a little later than we normally do. But with that, we are going to call an end to the session. But yeah,
Woo!
what did you guys think? Any
Acting
issues?
Against bound.
in a Patrick Stewart voice.
Wait, what?
Patrick Stewart voice. Acting.
Actor.
I can't do. I really can't do Patrick Stewart's voice. It's too iconic. But yeah. Anyway, unless there's any any plans that people have made going forward into next week that we may have to postpone or something.
Not that I'm
Good.
aware of.
No? All right, cool. Then we will probably pick up immediately where we've left off next week, same time as usual at 8:30. What were you saying there?
I was planning world domination, but I'll postpone it for the D&D game.
Okay. But
So
also,
Can you
like,
save it for the week after?
The
If you
five
do
of
it
us
the
are
week
planning
after,
world
that'll-
domination because once we get super popular, everyone will love us and we'll become super famous and be rolling into monies, right?
And body pillows.
Scott will buy a 24-hour live
Oh.
webcam just for Snick.
I could easily. The thing is though, I could easily go into
Snick
Amazon
cam.
and buy like a Wi-Fi camera that I could stick into his enclosure. But the thing is, because he's a python and he's nocturnal, he normally just hides in his den and does fuck all.
Yeah.
If I look over there just now, he will probably be
He's
in one of his little hides, just chilling, quite the thing. Because, he is Snack.
Oh, I thought you were saying no to the body pillows at first.
Oh, yeah, definitely no body pillows. Absolutely not.
What? Oh, come on. I can just imagine the one for Vic right now. On one side, it's him with the longbow in a very suggestive pose. And when you flip it over, he's got short swords.
I know someone whose python just slams the glass with its whole body, just goes bang, bang, bang.
Yes, please change the subject. I don't want to have to. I'd rather burn my retinas out with the
Productive Vic body pillows.
Don't
let's not get down that road.
No, don't put that in. You're burning that image in my head. Stop it. Anyway, with that, we are going to call an end to the session. So, everyone from home that has been watching, thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you have enjoyed the session. Remember, since even though lockdowns, restrictions are slowly being lifted and people may be going back to work, because that is one thing. My boss may be seeing about returning me back to work in June. Maybe, we're not 100% sure yet, so I'll keep you guys updated. But I might be going back to work in June. We'll have to wait and see. Otherwise, if you're still, regardless of whether you're in lockdown, in quarantine, or whatnot, remember to continue, keep an eye on each other, adhere to your social distancing, and as Kayla would say,
wash your goddamn hands.
Exactly. Anyway, we hope you've enjoyed this session, and we will see you next week. And bye-bye.
Bye.
Cue outro music.
No.